A lot of people, when you say, what do you do for work? You're a scout. They think you just go watch basketball.
What we try to do is find as many players that fit the Heat.
Your shot's more compact.
He's a solid defender, that guy.
We all just can't think guys are, finished product.
I'm trying to find that kid that you can see he's so hungry, all he needs is someone to give him a chance. Because I was that kid.
Our scouting staff has been one of the very best in the league.
What's really helped us is having great communication with our coaching staff. When we identify players, we bring them in, they let us know who they really like.
It was a pretty good finish.
I was close.
But to get on a heater.
Our scouting department is headed by Adam Simon, Keith Askins, Eric Amsler.
Keith, Adam, and myself cover kind of the whole world to find the new prospects for the future Heat teams.
Each one of them have worked in our front office for as long as all of us basically have. Adam and I go all the way back to the video room.
My first day working here was Coach Riley's first game coaching. I ended up working for Coach Spo in the video room in 1995.
When he first started out as an intern, he just had a remarkable way of organizing all of our footage, but then it turned into scouting reports, then it turned into types of players that we're looking for.
Trying to get some players in here. We're gonna have a free agent workout next week. Gotta get some players in here, see if we can find some more diamonds in the rough, some more Ike Austins. I keep track of players, both on the collegiate level and the professional level.
Welcome to the 2015 Skyforce season. This is the first layer of our season. We're going to try to find a few of you guys to help us with our training camp and potentially make our team.
I played high school basketball, played high school football, and as I got into college, I started working with coaching staffs in both football and basketball, and I couldn't believe that I had this opportunity. We were actually season ticket holders when I was in high school and I was in college, and so I was a big fan of the Heat. We kept our scouting group small, and as we've grown together, we've developed Eric Amsler to be an up-and-coming scout, and now he has 20 plus years of experience.
I haven't done a resume in a while, but every now and then I'll go and I just put like each title I've had. And geez, it's either I've been here forever, I've just had, they just keep throwing me different titles, but it's all good. I've been playing basketball probably since I was 6 years old. Learned it from my older sister. Back then, I wasn't allowed inside until dark, so we just would play basketball. That took me all the way through high school, and I eventually played at a small school, Dickinson College in Pennsylvania, where I played football and basketball. I moved to New York and started working in like video stuff with ABC Sports, and then that kind of trickled into working for the NBA, and then that led me to here in Miami. Through the job at the NBA that got me the proverbial foot in the door here with Miami, I interviewed with Andy and Randy Fund back 21 years ago, and that got me an internship in the dungeon video room downstairs, where a lot of people here have started, as you well know, and then that kind of trickled into working for the front office. You grow up thinking NBA and all that, and it's a dream, but to be able to work here has been a pleasure.
The Heat culture, I think, personally, started with Keith Askins.
Keith's experience of playing, coaching, and also now working as a scout for years, it brings different views and different values of what we look for.
I was actually amazed that I started scouting, got in the NBA, because I never knew there were scouts at my game when I was playing. I went to school just to get an education. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to wear nice shoes and wear a suit, because that's what, growing up poor. So I wanted to be successful. And that's how I judged success, by the way a man carried himself and what he wore. Wimp tells me after the draft, there's an agent that thinks you may be able to play professional basketball. He wants to send you to Miami. I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And I'm still here to this day.
Askins! Yes! Keith Askins to the rescue! Askins!
What a hustle play, Keith Askins. Hustle with a capital H.
Coach Riley, I'm one of the few guys that can actually say, I played for him, I coached for him, and now I'm in the front office working for him. And I've learned from him every step of the way, you know, what being prepared is all about.
Now they know they're going left, right, left, right.
Yeah.
This time around.
You know, let him go. Let him go. Sometimes just the intensity and the speed is good, you know?
The way I played the game, you know, even to the way I carry myself now. When I step between the lines, I'm about all business.
Once I step on the court, you know, and start my stretching, it's all about being businesslike.
That gives a stop. One more.
I'm always focused on my job, and I'm trying to do it to the best of my ability. You know, for a kid like me that never dreamt of doing this, it's like a dream come true that I never had. It ain't bad for a country boy.
A lot of people, when you say, what do you do for work? You're a scout. They think you just go watch basketball or you're recruiting basketball players. But really what we're doing is we're almost like investigative journalists.
He's a solid defender, though, again. I'll give him that. Good rebound. Nice pass.
We go out on the road. We're talking to players, coaches, former teachers, anybody that has been involved in this person's life, to find out not only who they are on the court, but off the court, because as they enter the NBA world, there's a lot of other things that are factored into their future and career.
Nice cock, coach. Appreciate it. I run that ship. Yep.
As scouts, our job is to be prepared to make decisions. It's our responsibility. We need to be able to have as much information possible, and that is understanding who these players are, where they're coming from, what they've been doing, not only now, but where they're projecting to go. And we need to be as prepared as possible all year long to make decisions on any players that we might have to make a decision.
I got you on alert. That's what's going on right now.
I just don't know how much they're actually studying as much as they say they are.
They are. They're working on it.
I think for our group, I think it's very important to have kind of a good mix. I mean, between the three of us, we're all different personalities. I mean, Keith's a former player and coach. He's been in Miami forever. I mean, Simon's been here forever as well. I mean, I'm a farm boy from Pennsylvania that has my own thing and was a psychology major, which, you know, some people have made fun of in the past. But everything kind of goes into play with what we do for finding the next player.
I see lines and I see movement. I can tell you if a guy's been hurt, simply by the way he walks, and I can tell you, yeah, no, he has. I don't like him because he has a bad gait. I'm very rhythmic. I like to see guys move, and with fluidity. His shot's more compact. He's not left or right. They got him on one side.
For our usual scouting trip, I kind of do a month-by-month schedule and work off making sure we all, as much as we can, see our top 160 to 100 players. So I build out a schedule for everybody and where they should go, and then they set up the logistics themselves.
Example, I left El Paso on Monday. I go to Charlotte, catch a game in Charlotte Monday, catch a game in Charlotte on Tuesday, have a 4 a.m. wake up to get to Orlando for the showcase and be at the first game by 11:30.
Any players we're looking at for the future, for summer, for G League, for NBA, they're all here in one setting. They divvy up the games every half hour so we can see everybody we need to see.
Finish. Nice, good work. You have to always sort of have an eye on everyone who's out in the basketball world. Everyone's a potential. The fact that we have been around for so long and have such a trust with each other and knowing what each we are looking for makes the job much easier and a better opportunity for success.
The best thing about being a scout is, like I said, man, you find this one player that no one thinks can play, and you see something that hey, maybe this kid can do this better than everyone else, and you want to give him a shot because you say, hey, if he can do this and he can grow in other parts of his game, he could have a pretty good career. Or he can help us win.
With the 18th pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the Miami Heat select
Jaime Jaquez from Chile.
One of the main things I'm responsible for is being prepared for the NBA draft. There's 60 draft picks every year, and 45 get standard contracts, 15 maybe get two ways. There's players that go undrafted, and the reality is it's a numbers game. And a year from now, there'll be another group of players that finish college and are coming from all parts of the world to come and be in the NBA. This is our Heat depth chart, and we color code them based on their contract status, free agent status, two-way status. We have I keep track of our G League, our Skyforce roster. Our goal is to find a way to make a decision collectively, whether it's 3 of us, or if there's 4 of us in the room, or however many people are making final decisions. Our goal is to say, hey, this is the right player for the Miami Heat, and try to make that decision collectively, not necessarily as taking a vote who likes one player versus who likes another. It's a real honor to be able to present our final list of who we're going to draft to Coach Riley and Coach Spo, and it's based on months and months of preparation, working with Eric and Keith and our scouts to gather all our information all through May and June to lead us up to making a final board that we could present and put our final ranking to paper and be ready for the draft come June.
The most important thing I always tell kids, every time you step between the lines, you got to make sure they know that you're ready. When you're trying to make it, you don't have any time to have bad days. You got to be one of the hardest working guys, if not the hardest working guy on the court.
Good rebound. Let's go. Push.
The art of trying to find a Heat player is very challenging. What we try to do is find some player who has a skill set that we think can translate to help us.
One skill. You can have one skill, whether it be a shooter, a defender, facilitator. You don't have to be this 30-point scorer, whatever, but if you have one thing that we think could get you on a court with Spell and the Heat, we'll look at it.
He's all right. He's all right. Guys are young, and so if they have some, some talent, skill, can you get them better?
I pull the schedule, my team plan. Some teams, they'll have a pro scout, college scout, a European scout, and Keith, Ab, and I, we kind of do all 3. I think it's good to have a kind of an idea of the speed of the game.
Anytime I go to a game, I prepare by looking at the player's background, their stats, what they've been doing leading up to the game.
I don't think he's there because he transferred here.
He's 0.
When we go out and look for players, first and foremost, they have to pass, an eye test. Everyone in the NBA is looking for length, athleticism, and skill. There's basic movements of basketball. There's running, jumping, and going laterally. They have to be able to do that. And then with us, there's a mindset and there's an IQ in which you got to have. You can be the most talented guy on the court, but if you don't have an IQ and you don't have a work ethic, that's not going to fly with us.
He was in Iowa State last year. So no summer.
I feel like I take on a portion of looking at on their mental side of how does he treat teammates? How does he deal with coaches? How is he when he goes off the floor to the bench? Is he with the team, away from the team? All the kind of the personality traits that I know work here or have worked here in the past, and that's kind of always in my head.
We're watching them in warm-ups. We're watching how they interact with officials, and it's all part of taking notes, which some are mental notes. Others where I'm writing down in my phone and keeping track so I can use it in my reports after the games are over. But I think it's a matter of seeing everything that the player has done leading up to a game, what they do during games.
But at the end of the day, it's just someone that's always hardworking, does the job, listens, doesn't put himself before the team. It's just, doing what they can to help the team.
Jovic finishing on the fast break. Update your impression of a young and swift Miami Heat.
The youth movement that we have, I've had a part in picking them. They all have, a mental toughness, and they all have a desire to work and get better. Some take off, Bam, Tyler, and those are the special ones. That's why they were drafted, in the lottery.
Someone like Tyler, we had seen him before he got to Kentucky, but one of the events that stuck out is we went to see him at his preseason pro day, and he put on a shooting clinic like none other. And we had basically said, hey, player with this kind of ability, we're going to track him all year long. He's going to be in our mix.
Hero driving on Brown and scoring. One of the best young players in the NBA. He's having a terrific start to his 6th NBA season.
Other players like Jaime that went to college for 4 years, you're seeing them grow year after year until they were ready to be in the draft.
Jaime Jaquez is another one, poised, quiet, secretly very tough. He rises to the challenge every time.
The track record overall, percentage-wise for Miami, has been very high. So the return on investment in regards to finding and identifying players that pay huge dividends has been the beauty and a trademark for this Miami Heat franchise.
A player like Duncan who goes undrafted, it's not a matter of just calling the agent the night of the draft and saying we like Duncan. We spent a lot of time discussing whether we want to go and fight to get Duncan to us if he didn't get drafted. Here he was, a 5th-year player playing at Michigan. He's got one great skill set, but he was a high motor player that worked hard, that had a high IQ, and that wanted to put the time in to get better. These are players that we scout, and when it's time to make a decision, we feel comfortable because we've done the scouting, we've done the intel, and we've been ready to make the decision.
7 players on this Miami roster undrafted, and it just shows you what Miami has done year in and year out. Identify talent, develop it, and then use it.
When it comes to our scouting team, they do a great job of uncovering talent. You can go back to Udonis Haslem walking through the door. I mean, that was one of the first finds.
Way to run, way to run.
And the Duncan Robinsons, the Haywood Highsmiths, the players that we drafted recently. Bam Adebayo at number 14, I think it was.
Let's be in the rafters one day.
Tyler, a hero at number 13.
Rises up and again. With a half second left. The hero delivers.
Then we got Jaime Jaquez.
This guy's been outstanding lately. One of the best rookies in the NBA.
And we got Nico.
The Miami Heat select Nikola Jovic from Belgrade, Serbia.
So they know what they're doing.
At the G League Showcase, you got to tell Isaiah Stevens that he was converted to a 2-way contract.
Unfortunately, they didn't get through today, but rewarding with a 2-way contract.
Well, in a sense, we're dream makers, but we're also, unfortunately, I wouldn't want to say killers, but what we let these players know, and when we interview them every year, is you have an opportunity to sit in front of us and tell us about yourself, and you're going to be able to audition for us.
Part of the weeding out process too, right? Some make it to the NBA, some disappear.
What you have to remember is a year from now, there's going to be another 100 players just like you that are going to be fighting to take your seat. And so what you have to believe in is yourself and your growth, and to never be comfortable.
When I meet coaches and I ask them about kids and we sit and talk to kids, I said, don't take what I'm saying to you. If I tell you I think you stay in school, or you may not be good enough at this time, don't take it as I'm being negative. Take it as I'm trying to help you become better and fulfill your dreams. That's why I say I'm not a dream wrecker, I'm a dream maker.
I think the good thing with when you pick a person, whether the first pick or 20th pick, is thankfully we have a great relationship with the coaching staff and Spo, that even if they're low, he plays guys that are undrafted.
Clearly what our scout team does for us is they've got to create the pipeline for new talent. And for us in the marketing department, what that gives us the chance to do is introduce new players, welcome these new players to our marketplace, making people care about these guys. Because if the development works the way it's supposed to work, those are going to be key contributors to the Miami Heat in subsequent years. And we've got to make sure we do a good job of highlighting those guys and showing their journey, many of them from Sioux Falls here to the Heat.
Duncan in transition, a corner three. Kaboom. It's not overnight work. This is 3 years in the making for Robinson.
We preach family and culture. It's more about just we've been around each other so long and we kind of know what works, what doesn't. You know, the first thing when I'm at a game scouting, first thing I'm thinking of is like, what's Spo gonna want? What's he like in this kid? What's he not gonna like? I kind of have that on my notes to put down.
It's a symbiotic relationship. You know, the staff gets, the front office gets players that know that have the intangibles that we value, and then we work diligently, relentlessly to make sure that it works, so that we make more success stories and make, you know, these guys look good, and we just keep on doing that. It's like a great little relationship, you know, that we have.
That's nice. Good. Perfect. Perfect.
I think what we try to do is find as many players that fit the Heat description and the Heat culture, and we try to find players that we think might have a chance. What we try to have is a DNA of hard work, toughness, an IQ, a dedication to the game, an ability to get better. And I think what that ends up doing is, over time, you can continue to find players like that, and that will sift out players that maybe aren't good enough. But at the end of the day, if you keep turning over enough rocks and finding those kind of players, eventually enough of them have stuck, and we're fortunate that they have.
I've been put in a position to live a great life and help people, and I'm still trying. And when I come out here, like I said, I'm trying to find that kid that you can see he's so hungry. All he needs is someone to give him a chance. Because I was that kid. You know, I was that kid that someone gave an opportunity to. So I'm just looking for the next one.
Hit that subscribe button and get all the heat you can handle.